Yes. All right. Guys, someone's here. RJ, do you know who it is? I wonder who it is. Mabuhay squad. Yay! Let's open the door and see who it is. Awesome!
Hey guys, welcome to my daily vlogs. Please subscribe.
More toys for Ligaya. Yes, from ordered online. Oh wow, this one's cute. I like this one. It's so geometric.
Yeah, see?
Ooh. Oh. Look at Ligaya. She's like, for me, again, I'm so spoiled. Awesome. Oh wow, that's neat. This one's like a plastic tube. Okay, and I guess you could hide treats in here, like a foraging toy. This could be. Awesome. All right, guys. So I'm here with Ligaya, of course. Well, was here with Mikey. I was thinking of what to vlog today, and I realized that I think a vlog like this was due. You guys saw the title. I wanted to talk about what it's like to live with an African gray parrot. For those of you out there who might be watching these vlogs going, wow, I love Ligaya. I would love to have a parrot for myself. And I already released a couple videos in the past about what to expect when buying a parrot and to make sure you're prepared to take on the commitment of a parrot. But it's kind of different now because it's gonna be 2 years almost this year, that I've had Ligaya, and I have a different perspective now as to what life is like with an adult parrot now. And she's not even fully adult. I mean, she's about almost 2 years old in a few months. Oh my gosh, she's almost 2 years old. Crazy! And so I wanted to preface this with, I'm sure you guys have seen this and heard this time and time again. It is a huge commitment, kind of like having a baby. If you guys haven't seen my vlog on pet hoarding and my 5-level system for pets, be sure to watch it here. I basically kind of categorize different pets in different levels based on how demanding they are for maintenance, time, money even. And needless to say, African Greys fall under the category of level 5 pets for me. And anyone who has a parrot can tell you that they are definitely level 5 pets. The first thing to consider when getting a parrot, I think, is cost. Right, like guys, cost. They're expensive, and I mean, they're like children, essentially. Yes, the bird itself is a very costly expense. Then you also have to consider their cage, and we've gone through 2 cages now in the year and a half. Probably might have to buy another one. We're also building a home with an aviary in it where the bird will be able to fly around. But that's something to consider. You also have to pay for bird toys. These are expensive. Bird toys consist of like wooden items that the birds can destroy. Essentially, you spend 70 to 100 bucks on bird toys, and then they destroy them, and then you gotta buy them again. Like a month later or even sooner. It's like crazy like that. Then you have to consider food. Food consists of usually a pellet, a high quality pellet, hopefully, and then also chopped up veggies and the right veggies and fruits and like grains. So keeping a parrot is quite expensive. And then as if that wasn't enough, the birds will need to visit a vet. You need to take them for regular checkups. It's funny, parrots can, or birds in general, can hide illnesses. This is what they do, guys. Like in nature, they're in a flock, right? And predators look in the flock and try to point out the sick birds or injured birds. So nature has designed them to hide illnesses very well. And sometimes you won't realize that something's wrong till it's too late, like God forbid. Like that's something that happened with our bird from 4 years ago, Malaya, our Mina. We had no idea she was ill or if she was ill, and then she like just died suddenly. It's a really tricky thing. So to avoid that, you gotta take the bird to a vet frequently. And vet bills cost so much. Definitely more than the bird. Medicines cost a lot, blood tests cost a lot, and as you guys have seen in our vlogs with Ligaya, sometimes certain things are telltale signs of a possible illness, so I rush right away to the vet. So if you're the person who's like, I'm gonna save money on vet bills and wait till there are serious signs, then no, a parrot is not for you. You should be able to take the bird to a vet at the smallest sign. A difference in poop, maybe a patch that she's plucking. I remember taking Ligaya to a vet because she wasn't shedding right during shedding season last year. Little things like that. And they had found out that she had a deficiency. Even after I've been feeding her like the top diet. You know what I'm saying? Just sometimes these things happen and you have to accept them. Another thing too is you have to consider that they are time consuming. They need some quality time with you every day, and if not with you, you have to socialize them to be able to be okay and bond with other members of the family. Ligaya over here is an African Grey, and African Greys are known to be one-person birds, but that wouldn't fit in our lifestyle. We had to make sure she was okay with socializing with myself, RJ, my partner, Ellsie, our house helper, RJ's sisters, because she had to be aware of our flock members, our editors, things like that, people who come in and out of our house regularly. Ligaya had to be okay with that because a lot of parrots sometimes will not be okay with a bunch of people in. So that took time to socialize. They take time, of course, for cleaning duties. Birds are messy. They are messy animals. When they eat, they take a little bite and fling the rest everywhere. Their poo is projectile. It'll fall everywhere. See, even though there's this little tray, this skirt kind of thing that catches the poo when she's up there, a lot of times it still ends up on the floor. It goes and then we have to wipe it. She will poo on me, she will poo on RJ, she'll poo on Ellsie, she will poo on our couch, in our car. Birds aren't like dogs that will learn like certain spots and will hold it. Yes, you can possibly train them to perch on bird approved furniture, which is what some people do, like various perches with trays at the bottom. You can get them to only land in those places, but there will be accidents. I'm just being honest. These birds will poo everywhere. It's just their lifestyle, guys. They live in trees, they poo, it's gone. They eat fruit, they fling it everywhere, it's gone. They don't gotta think about it. It's just something you need to get used to. Now, another thing you gotta get used to is noise. Now, one thing I feel grateful for Ligaya is I've discovered that Ligaya, as an African Grey, isn't a screamer. Thank God, so far. She makes these random noises. She'll say words, she'll make whistles and pops and stuff. I am sure they can hear her out in the hallway, but thankfully she doesn't screech. But other parrots like macaws, cockatoos, even small birds. Don't think small birds are quiet. Like conures, they're loud when they screech. A loud screech. I also think that Ligaya, because she's in a relatively quiet household, like we don't scream really. So Ligaya has learned not to scream. But if you're in a household that's noisy, where you guys talk loud, like you guys are Italian, you might expect the bird to be able to read and match that decibel level in communication. And if you have a dog, I'm sure if we had a very loud dog, Ligaya would be much louder. But that's another thing, noise level. If you have neighbors that complain about noise, chances are a parrot is not for you. Another thing that you need to think about, and I think this is the last thing. Oh no, two more things. First, allergies. Birds have a lot of dander. Ligaya is an African Grey. She's from like a more arid region. So birds from arid regions like cockatoos, African Greys, they produce this stuff called parrot dust. And they need this parrot dust because it covers their feathers, it binds to bacteria and dirt and germs, and then when it rains, it washes off. So it's like their protection. They need this dander, this parrot dust. However, the parrot dust gets everywhere. It gets on your furniture, it gets like on surfaces of the table. Literally, like you'll wipe this and then in a day you see dust again. It's very heavy. So if you guys have asthma or you're sensitive to like animal dander or you don't like to dust your house, don't get a parrot because parrots produce this stuff and it's something you can't escape from. Right, guys? You should be able to bathe your bird almost every day so that the dander can be minimalized. But again, it's one of those things you need to get used to. Finally, I think one of the biggest things to consider also is they have a long lifespan. These are not birds that live for 5 years, 12 years. We're talking like the length of a human being. Like this is a lifetime and possibly your kids' commitment. You know what I'm saying? Maybe even 3 generations. Parrots will be passed on and on. So you like have to consider, okay, so I'm what? Gonna be 40 in 2 years. Ligaya is gonna outlive me. Who will take Ligaya afterwards? And like these are things you should consider. They're a long-term commitment. So if you're a young person, you have to consider, okay, what are your life plans? Do you plan on moving out of your small town that you might be living in? Do you plan on getting married and having kids? Because you're gonna have to dedicate all of your time, effort, money, and all of that to your family eventually. What about your bird after that? You know what I'm saying? Do you have a stable career now? Are you going to school? Because if you are going to school and you're focusing on studies, where is the commitment and time and even money gonna come from that you're supposed to give to the bird? So again, like your state of life really matters. Had I gotten Ligaya when I was in my early 20s, when I really wanted an African Grey, it was my dream bird. Had I gotten that, I don't know what I would have had to do because life changed so quickly. I mean, I joined Canadian Idol, my dreams of becoming an entertainer became a reality, and I was doing entertainment non-stop. Then YouTube happened. Then I ended up flying to the Philippines. Like, you know what I mean? Like, poor bird. The bird would have had to suffer because of all the different changes that I had to go through in my youth. Now that I'm an older man and my life is kind of figured out and more stable now, it's a good time to have a parrot. So these are things that you guys need to consider. You need to look at your lives and say, all right, where do I see myself in the next 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, 50 years? Am I gonna still be alive? If not, who's the bird gonna go to? 60 years, 70 years, 80 years? You know what I'm saying? Things you need to consider. RJ, what else? What else did I miss? Like, I need to consult with RJ. What are the strings that people need to consider when buying a parrot?
Well, she destroys things.
She destroys things like our drywall. She chewed on it. It's pretty much like a dog. You can expect things to be destroyed.
Like this.
And the bigger things are... Oh yeah, the guy destroyed this. She flies here and she picks at this. And if you're particular about your furniture and you have expensive furniture, gotta make sure that's protected, or don't get a bird. It'll be destroyed.
And sometimes they bite.
Oh my gosh, that's correct. Sometimes they bite. As tame as Ligaya is, there are times she bites. And I even have a vlog where she fully bit me hard, and it scared me. Like, once you get that first bite that really actually hurts or breaks the skin, you become traumatized. And then eventually your trust for the bird kind of like gets destroyed for a bit until it gets back to normal. These birds go through hormonal stages where they get so in the urge to breed that they can get violent if they don't breed. She gets like that sometimes. Sometimes there are birds that will attack you. Like, I heard cockatoos are like that. They have these crazy mood swings where they'll be angels at first, and then the next thing you know, they're dive bombing you because you didn't read their signals right. You have to be able to read their body language. And even me, when I'm interacting with Ligaya, I am constantly looking at her because I need to see if she's gonna strike my hand or if she is gonna step up or allow me to scratch. Even like this, see, as I go like this, it's okay. I do it slowly because there are times if I don't read her body language right, like she does certain positions and certain moves with her head that tell me she doesn't want to be scratched, and if I don't see those signs, bang, she will nail me. Thankfully, not super hard, but there are times like that one time when she was hormonal where it really hurt. It left a scar on my finger and a scar in my soul. So yeah, you gotta get used to your bird going from sweet angels to keep away! It might last just a few days, but expect that too. Other things you need to realize is you can't just throw toys in their cage and expect them to like entertain themselves, because they're so smart, especially Ligaya being an African Grey. They need to constantly be stimulated and need to be, you know, their brain needs to be challenged and tested. So you'll need to come up with foraging items like this, or you can make them. This is kind of hard to make, but foraging toys like this allow them to solve puzzles to get to their food. You see that? Here's a foraging wheel which turns to get various items in these different compartments. You see? Sometimes you have to let them work for their snacks. The worst thing is if your parrot gets bored, that is like the open door to behavioral problems. They will start feather plucking, like literally pulling their feathers out, which is just tragic till you see skin and blood. It's like, it's my worst fear, like with Ligaya. They scream on the top of their lungs if they're bored, right? They go and destroy your house. And so guys, of course, the last thing to expect when getting a parrot is you need to research. There's like a list of parrot-safe foods and toxic foods for parrots, like chocolate, avocado. There's like a set list that you need to learn. There are also plants that are toxic to parrots. Also, oh, here's another thing too, guys. If you have someone in the family that owns cookware with Teflon, you know, like those, it's so smooth, the smooth pans and stuff with Teflon on it, you can pretty much rule out not having a bird if this person is gonna cook with that Teflon cookware, because apparently it releases a poisonous gas that is toxic to birds. So that's another thing you need to consider. You need to parrot proof your place. Certain air fresheners are bad for parrots. If you're a smoker, don't get a parrot because they're sensitive to like smokes and that kind of thing. I don't know. Any of you parrot owners, did I miss anything? Leave it in the comments. I'm trying to like be as thorough as possible for all of these newbies who might think that they want to get a parrot. In the end, it's a wild animal and this is something you just simply gotta accept. So the care is a little bit more involved than say a dog or a cat. Really guys? But if you're willing to accept the commitment, take on the challenge, then they can be such sweet animals to have. Really guys? Another thing too is, one last thing, I know it's always last thing, but also forgot that birds need sun. They need some outdoor time. I take Ligaya on walks, but if you don't have a place with windows or no time to take a bird on a walk outside or have space like a veranda or something to allow the bird to soak up some natural sunlight, then you're gonna have a problem. Don't get a bird. Alright guys, so I know you guys look forward to the positive affirmations. Here's the positive affirmation for Sunday. OMG, it's March already? Wow! Okay, first of all, as the stirrings of spring are felt in much of the world, I feel signs of new life in myself. I now find that I am more willing to drop old beliefs when they no longer work for me. I feel lighter than I have in years and see the world as full of possibility. Growing and changing is exciting. Ooh, love that. Such good feelings. All right, let's see what our first positive affirmation is, guys. All right. For Sunday, March the 1st, the door to my heart opens inward. I move through forgiveness to love. All right. Is there someone you need to forgive still? Do it today and say this positive affirmation. Alright guys, so you know how on this channel we love to give away stuff, right? And I've got some great news. RJ and I have some stuff to give away. And I think you guys will truly love what we're giving away. Hope you're ready to win, because Mabuhay Squad, we're giving away